What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So for this week here in the summer, in the series of Cars and Coffee here in Forza Horizon 5, there is going to be 2 speed traps and a speed zone, at least for the first week anyway. Now, I'm not going to lie though, I was going to do 3 separate videos on these, but I gotta admit, I think it's easier to put all of them together, simply down to the fact that you have to use the exact same car on all of them. That is going to be the Nissan GT-R 1997, which is going to be this car to be exact if you are wondering. And do not worry guys, I also want to show my share code for this vehicle on the screen. This is the same build I used for all 3 of these skills. I had no issues with any of them. I pretty much beat all of them besides the speed zone first try. I did honestly mess up the first time I did the speed zone, which is probably why I had to redo it. But nonetheless though, I did want to start off here, which is going to be the speed trap. This is going to be the coast view located on the left part of the map. For this one, you are going to have to do 155 miles an hour. I will show footage of me getting this here in a second, guys, but a quick tip, I would recommend spawning over in this area here, at least on this side. I would not recommend coming on this side because of this corner. I would say you're probably going to end up losing speed. You have to get 155 miles an hour. So for me, I pretty much spawned like over in this area here and then basically headed all the way toward it. You can actually spawn way back here if you want. There's going to be a limit on these, so you can spawn over here if you'd like. But if you want, spawn over here somewhere and then basically head toward the objective that way. For me, I got 156 miles an hour first try spawning over here. To be honest, this was fairly simple. And then moving over to the second speed trap is going to be this one here, which I would say you guys are probably going to be familiar with this one because it was in the previous month where you had to use an S2 vehicle on it. This time though, you're going to have to use the Nissan GT-R. You have to get 170 miles an hour. And to be honest, I would say this one might actually be a tad easier than the previous one. The reason for that is you can get a big head start once again. So what I did is I basically spawned over here right at the end of the airfield. That way you can go all the way down this road and have a huge head start on it. And then for the final PR stunt here that is going to be part of Mexico is going to be the Punta Island. I think I said that right. Either way, though, you have to get 120 miles per hour on this one, once again in the Nissan GT-R. To be honest, I would say this one's probably going to be harder than both speed traps. The reason is the one corner on this one is definitely going to mess you up. Now, where do you want to start? Well, to be honest, guys, zooming out, you're going to see there's pretty much only 2 directions, which is going to be here and also on the other side here. Now, I would not recommend spawning on this side because you basically don't have nearly as much room to get some speed up over here, because you will see where this one is going to start. Let me, how do I... There we go. You guys will see where it's going to start there, basically right by the turn. So I would recommend not coming from that direction. Instead, I would recommend coming from here. I think I spawned right in this area. Basically, immediately went right and then accelerated all the way toward it. Once you hit the objective, though, you're going to be... Can I flip that thing around again? There we go. As you guys will see, it's going to be down there. When I hit the objective, I was doing around 105 miles an hour. You will be able to accelerate I really do think the first turn, though, which is going to be this one here, is probably the biggest issue. I got around the turn at a decent speed. After that, though, you can basically work on keeping your speed up. And overall, I would say the GTR is not going to struggle that much. It really depends on that first corner. And the reason I do mention that, though, is I feel like some players are probably going to accelerate a tad too much and not realize how sharp this corner actually is. That is also why I failed, because I did not realize that. But overall, guys, the build I do have on the Nissan GTR can do all three of these PR stunts with no issues whatsoever. But I do feel like the lovely speed zone here might end up giving the most issues compared to the other two speed traps. If you guys have any questions, do let me know in the comments below. Anyway, here's all three of the PR stunts, which all of them are going to be timestamped if you're looking for a specific one.